Every secret in Derry comes with a price. And in episode 4, that price starts getting paid in blood. From the very first second, episode 4 lets you know Derry isn't slowing down. The trailer opens cold, Halaran and Taniel sitting in an interrogation room, faces tight, air thick with fear. These two were just quiet observers before, the kind of men who watch things happen from the shadows. But now, they're the ones under the light, trapped, questioned, and surrounded by people who already decided what they want to hear. Whatever Taniel did out there, whatever he tried to stop, it's caught up to him. He went against Rose's warning, got too close to the truth buried under that dig site, and now he's paying for it. Halaran looks different here. Not the calm, collected man we saw earlier, but someone torn apart by what he's being forced to do. His line hits like a knife. What they want me to do to you, it's not going to be pleasant. You can hear the regret sitting behind every word. And as he says it, the camera drags our attention to that mirrored window, the one hiding General Shaw and Leroy Hanlon on the other side. They're watching, silent, emotionless. It's almost like they're not just overseeing an interrogation, they're feeding it. Halaran's hands tremble before he touches his forehead. That's when it clicks. He's about to use the shine. That power he carries isn't just a gift, it's a curse, and now the military wants to weaponize it. As soon as he taps into it, the whole atmosphere shifts. The hum in the room gets heavier. A clock starts ticking in the background. Tick, 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 like time itself just started counting down. Then comes that voice. A calm, detached voice repeating, "Duck and cover." It sounds like one of those old-school safety films from the nuclear era, but here it's distorted, stretched out, echoing like something trying to crawl its way out of the speakers. The kind of sound that gets under your skin and stays there. Halaran closes his eyes, and in that instant, Tunnel jerks back. It's like his thoughts are being ripped apart, memories flashing behind his eyes faster than he can breathe. Whatever's inside his head isn't meant to be seen, and Halaran feels it too. You can tell this isn't just mind reading. This is a collision. Two people's consciousnesses smashing together, and one of them is hiding something the other was never supposed to find. That's when it hits. Taniel knows something. Something about the artifacts. Something about the massacre from 1935. The kind of secret that connects every strange death and every dark rumor in Derry's past. And as Halaran goes deeper, it's like Derry itself starts to bleed through. The lights flicker, the ticking grows louder, the duck and cover voice distorts into laughter. Faint, but there. That's when you realize it. Pennywise isn't gone. He's listening, waiting, feeding on the fear sitting between these two men. The scene cuts, sharp, to Lily. She's standing in front of the chief of police, eyes tired, voice low but firm. Whoever killed Teddy, Phil, and Susie, it came after us again in the cemetery. The chief just stares, that same blank disbelief he wore before. You can see Lily catching herself, carefully choosing her words. She doesn't say monster. She doesn't say clown. Just whoever. Because one wrong word and she's back in Juniper Hill. She's already been labeled unstable once. She's not giving them another reason. But you can tell she's breaking. The weight of what she's seen, what she knows, it's eating at her. And the more she tries to sound sane, the crazier the truth sounds. The chief's eyes narrow. He doesn't believe her. Not really. And that's what makes it worse. Because when nobody believes you in Derry, that's when it strikes. The energy of the trailer never lets up. You can feel it building, like the town itself is holding its breath. Every clock tick, every whispered duck and cover, it all leads back to one thing. Pennywise is waking up. And the more these people dig into Derry's history, the more they're unearthing the thing that's been buried for decades. Episode 4 isn't just about secrets being exposed. It's about the walls between reality and nightmare starting to collapse. And if there's one thing Derry's taught us so far, it's that once those walls crack, there's no putting them back together. Not this time. What happens next feels like Derry turning on itself. The trailer shifts tone. Darker, faster, almost like the town's heartbeat speeding up. We see Will Hanlon standing by a lake, fishing pole in hand, and for a moment it almost looks peaceful. But this is Derry. Peace never lasts here. That calm surface of the water, it's a lie. As Will leans over, there's a ripple, a movement just beneath. Then something grabs him. A burned, blistered arm shoots out from the water and drags him down. It's not just a jump scare. It means something. That arm looked like it came from the ashes, like it belonged to someone who died in fire. And that's when it clicks. The black spot. The black spot is the nightmare the show's been teasing since Halloran mentioned it. A place that started as hope but ended in flames. Built by black soldiers like Halloran who wanted somewhere of their own, somewhere they could feel human again after the horrors of war. But Derry doesn't let anything good survive for long. The Legion of White Decency burned it to the ground, a racist attack that the town quietly buried, like everything else it's ashamed of. But ghosts don't stay quiet in Derry. The burned arm dragging Will under the lake is a warning. The past is rising again, and it's coming for the living. This scene feels like it's showing us two timelines bleeding into one another. Will's being pulled into a memory that isn't his. The memory of the fire, of the screams, of the people who never made it out. The black spot didn't just vanish. Its ashes are still part of Derry, mixed into the soil, the water, the air. And that means Pennywise is feeding off that pain, that history of hate and death. It's not just random terror, it's inherited evil, something passed down like a curse. What makes it even darker is that Halloran and Will's connection runs deeper than they realize. Halloran saved Will's life back in that fire. At least, that's how the legend goes. So maybe what Will's seeing at the lake isn't just a vision. Maybe it's the past trying to replay itself. Maybe it's the shine showing him the moment that tied him and Halloran together forever. Because in Derry, nothing stays buried. Not bodies, not memories, not guilt. After that, the trailer throws us into a whirlwind of tension. We see Charlotte Hanlon confronting Hank, her voice shaking as she says, "You'll have to go on record with the truth." Hank looks back at her, eyes full of fear and anger, replying, "The truth is, I didn't do nothing to those kids." It's a short exchange, but it cuts deep. The guilt, the denial, the desperation. It's all there. And for Charlotte, this isn't just about Hank. It's about herself. In the last episode, she talked about losing her voice, about how Leroy silenced her when she used to stand for something. But now she's done being quiet. She's pushing back. Even if it means standing beside a man everyone thinks is a murderer, that's the beauty of how Welcome to Derry tells its story. Every character's personal conflict mirrors the larger curse of the town. Derry feeds on silence, on secrets, on people being too afraid to speak. But Charlotte speaking up? That's rebellion. And in Derry, rebellion always comes with consequences. Her choice might make her a target, not just for the town's whispers, but for whatever's waking beneath it. Then, the tension spikes again. Leroy Hanlon storms into General Shaw's office, voice raised, face filled with rage. "What the hell do you have us chasing?" he shouts. For a split second, Shaw freezes. That reaction says everything. He knows something. Something that's been hidden since 1908, the last time Pennywise brought Derry to its knees. You can almost see the guilt flicker behind his eyes, like he's reliving something he's tried to forget. Maybe he saw it as a kid, maybe he's been haunted ever since. But one thing's clear, Shaw's secrets are starting to catch up with him, and the walls he built to keep them hidden are starting to crack. And that's when another thought hits. If Lily didn't take those photographs with her when she went to see the chief, someone else did. Maybe Will has them now. Maybe that's what ties these moments together. The photos, the lake, the interrogation, all leading to one terrifying truth. Those pictures didn't just capture Pennywise's illusions. They might have captured something much worse, something ancient that's beginning to stir. Then there's that quick flash. Will embracing his mother, eyes wide, fear still written all over his face. You can tell he's trying to explain what he saw, what pulled him under, and maybe that's when he finally shows them the photos. That's when the horror becomes real for the Hanlons. Leroy might be a soldier, but he's not ready for this kind of war. Yet, when he looks at his son and sees that fear, that same fear he's seen before, he knows it's real. That's what drives him to confront Shaw. By this point, the trailer has turned into pure chaos. Every second feels like something's about to break. The music gets sharper, the cuts faster, the world itself starts to feel unstable. You can feel the pattern repeating. Derry waking up, feeding again, dragging everyone back into its nightmare cycle. It's not just about the killings or the clown. It's about how this town bends reality, twisting every truth until nobody can tell what's real anymore. And just when you think the trailer can't get darker, it does. Quick flashes. Marge staring at herself in the mirror, face blank, eyes almost hypnotized. Will trapped underwater, bubbles rising, his screams muffled. A red balloon drifting across the river like a silent signal that Pennywise is near. And then, a bathroom door slams open, Halloran rushing inside, face pale, breathing hard, and there's someone in there. A woman. Could it be his grandmother? The same one tied to his shine? Whatever it is, his face says it all. Fear, grief, recognition, every glimpse in this sequence feels like a piece of Derry's puzzle snapping into place, and none of them are good. The lines between the living and the dead, between memory and nightmare, are gone. Derry's not just haunted, it's alive. And it's hungry again. By the time the third act of the trailer hits, it's clear. Derry's no longer hinting at evil, it's drowning in it. The shine, the lake, the photographs, the whispers, all of it starts bleeding together into something that feels bigger than any single character. It's like the whole town's soul is cracking open, letting something old crawl through. We see flashes of people running, faces twisted with fear, and that same eerie phrase echoing again, duck and cover. But now, it's distorted, warped into something demonic, almost like Pennywise himself is speaking through it. Every word feels like a countdown to the moment he finally steps out of the shadows. What's wild is how this episode seems to blend the supernatural with the psychological. On the surface, it's about a clown, an entity feeding on fear, but underneath, it's something else. It's about trauma that refuses to die. Every character is haunted by something personal, Halaran by guilt, Will by visions, Lily by disbelief, and Charlotte by her own silence. And that's the brilliance of this episode's setup. Pennywise doesn't just attack people physically, he infects their memories, their fears, their bloodlines. It's like he's in their DNA now. Halaran becomes the emotional anchor of this section. The trailer keeps cutting back to him, face pale, eyes trembling, like he's fighting something inside his head that's getting louder by the second. The shine is powerful, but it's also dangerous. The deeper he goes, the more it starts to consume him. It's not just Tannel's memories he's seeing anymore. It's flashes of Derry's entire cursed history, blood on the streets, burning walls, laughter echoing through tunnels. He's witnessing the truth about the town, the cycle, the reason every 27 years Derry turns into a hunting ground, and then there's the flash. So fast you might miss it. Pennywise standing at the edge of the Hanlon property, half in shadow, half in moonlight. He doesn't move. He doesn't need to. Just standing there is enough. His presence feels like a sickness spreading across the neighborhood, and you can almost sense the fear leaking into every window, every room. It's the kind of fear that doesn't scream. It waits. Then the camera cuts to Marge again. She's alone in the bathroom, mirror fogged up, breathing heavy. Her reflection starts to smile, but she doesn't. It's subtle at first, then her reflection moves on its own. The look in her eyes says it all. She knows what's happening. She's seen this before. She's the next one being toyed with. Pennywise doesn't need to show up in his clown form. He knows your mind is the best stage for his performance. Marge's biggest fear has always been humiliation, being turned into a joke by the people she tried so hard to impress. And that's exactly how he'll break her. The laughter she hears behind the mirror, it's not in her head. It's real. Meanwhile, Will's situation gets worse. We see another glimpse of him underwater, arms flailing, light fading, the burned figure pulling him deeper. But this time, the perspective shifts. The arm isn't trying to kill him. It's showing him something. Beneath the surface, through the haze of the water, you can make out the faint outline of the black spot. Tables charred, smoke frozen in the water like ghosts. It's the past, preserved under the lake, and Will's being dragged into it to witness how it began. It's a haunting kind of time travel, one that doesn't use portals, just pain. Back on land, the chaos starts spilling into the military compound. Halaran, still reeling from the shine, stumbles into Shaw's office, demanding answers. What the hell are we chasing? Leroy's voice from before echoes in his mind, but Shaw won't meet his eyes. It's like he's seen all this before. Like he knows exactly what's coming and can't stop it. Maybe he's seen the clown. Maybe he's heard the voices. Maybe he's known this day would come ever since 1908. And now, the cycle's repeating. And this time, it's worse. Because now the military's involved, digging up the very thing they should have left buried. That's what makes this episode hit harder, the way it connects every thread. Derry's evil doesn't spread randomly. It's attracted to curiosity, to guilt, to anyone trying to expose the truth. Every time someone looks too closely, Pennywise gets stronger. Every time someone tries to remember, he reminds them why forgetting is safer. That's the curse. Knowledge itself becomes the trap. As the trailer reaches its breaking point, the ticking sound from before returns, but faster, louder, almost panicked. We see shots overlapping like a fever dream. Taniel screaming inside the interrogation room, Halloran clutching his head, Charlotte crying in the dark, Lily standing alone in the street with the wind howling around her, and Will gasping for air under the lake. And over all of it, that voice, duck and cover, playing on a loop until it finally distorts into laughter. Not a child's laughter. Pennywise's, then silence. A beat of stillness, right before everything breaks. That's when we get one of the most chilling shots of the trailer. Halloran standing in front of the mirror, the same one Marge stared into. He looks tired, hollow, but when he leans closer, his reflection doesn't follow. It tilts its head, smiles faintly, and whispers something we can't hear. Whatever it says freezes him. His eyes go wide, his breathing stops, and the screen cuts to black. Derry has always been cursed, but now it feels like the curse is waking up in full. Episode 4 isn't just another chapter, it's the point where the nightmare becomes real for everyone. The past, the present, and the supernatural are all merging into one, and no one in this town is safe anymore. The shine can't save them. The truth can't free them. Because in Derry, the truth is the monster. The trailer's middle to late beats don't just push the story forward, they snap it in half. By now the horror isn't whispering, it's organizing. Episode 4 makes the town feel like a mouth closing, and everyone inside it can feel the teeth. The interrogation, the lake, the black spot echoes. They all converge into a single, terrible inevitability. Derry is waking up on purpose, and it's choosing who will suffer first. Halloran's shine has become a focal point for all that anger. The military sees it as a tool to control truth. Pennywise sees it as a bright, exposed nerve to gnaw on. Halloran stands between them, but he's cracked. The more he uses the shine, the more he bleeds memories that aren't his. It's like the town is feeding itself through him. Every memory he pulls, every secret he uncovers, gives whatever lives under Derry another foothold. The trailer tightens on family now, and that's where the personal horror gets its teeth. Will's panic becomes a mirror for Leroy Hanlon's worst failures. The man who prides himself on order and discipline is losing control of his home, of the narrative, and eventually of his own mind. The scene where he forces himself into Shaw's office is not just anger, it's terror disguised as rage. He isn't asking questions so much as begging the world to make sense again. And in Derry, begging never helps. Meanwhile, Charlotte's fight to be heard turns from moral stand to survival strategy. She's stepping forward not because she wants to be brave, but because silence has proven fatal. That shift from protest to desperation gives her a new edge, one that might protect her, or mark her for a more vicious hunt. The trailer keeps peeling back layers of the Hanlon family like old wallpaper to reveal scorch marks underneath. As Will shows his parents what he saw, something unravels in Leroy that we haven't fully seen before. The soldier becomes a terrified father. That role reversal is what makes the next sequences so brutal. The man who once put thousands of troops in line now has to face a force he cannot organize against. He lashes out at the bureaucracy, at Shaw, at Halloran, anyone but the thing that's actually responsible. That misdirected fury becomes a weapon Pennywise loves. It fractures alliances and sets people up to fall alone. And then there's the montage of private horrors. Marge in a bathroom with a laugh that isn't hers, a red balloon ghosting along an empty street, Halloran catching a glimpse of something in the mirror that looks like his grandmother but moves like the monster. Those images aren't random. They're tactical. Pennywise is not only attacking individuals, he's strategizing social collapse. Make Marge look insane and the patty cakes laugh. Make Will's father look like a liar and the town turns its back. Make the military dig and a ritual gets interrupted. The creature learns what breaks people fastest and then uses it. It's surgical. It's smart. It's learning from every fear it touches. The shine sequences get worse. When Halloran leans into Tannel's memories, the trailer shows rapid, slashing cuts of faces and fire and children's toys half burned. Those cuts are a language. The show is telling us that memory itself is a battlefield. The trailer lingers on the empty chair at the dinner table, the untouched food, the slow zoom on the open door. It's screaming loss. Maybe Lily, maybe Tannel, but someone's about to pay the price for looking too close. And that's the thing about Derry. Once you start seeing, you can't unsee. Once you acknowledge it, you belong to it. As the trailer ends, that slow fade to black isn't peaceful. It's suffocating. You can hear faint laughter bleeding into the silence, like the sound is leaking through from somewhere it shouldn't. That's the real horror here. It's not the jump scares or the blood. It's that quiet knowing that something ancient and cruel has already won the first round, and the humans are still trying to figure out if they're even in a fight or just part of the ritual. Episode 4 feels like the moment when the story stops being about curiosity and turns into survival. Everyone's been poking the wound for 3 episodes, and now it's about to start bleeding for real. So, if you look at it from a bigger angle, Episode 4 is shaping up to be the heart of the season, the point where the mask slips, the lies crumble, and the fear becomes visible. Everything the first 3 episodes hinted at. About Derry, about memory, about how evil infects innocence. This is where it ignites. And that's why this next episode isn't just continuation, it's escalation. The real question now isn't who Pennywise will target, but who will still recognize themselves after he's done. Because in Derry, evil doesn't just kill you, it rewrites you. So, when that screen cuts to black and the laughter fades, remember this. Every story in Derry ends the same way, with someone thinking they can outsmart the darkness. And maybe for a second they do, but it always comes back. The question is, when it does this time, will anyone be left who still believes they can fight it?